is ruin his day. It's pretty much, as you said, the Blue Flame Hellion drop that ruins everyone's day, us and Zerg. But Flo is gonna go for a hell of a lot of Phoenixes and pretty much nothing else, and that just doesn't work out. Just as mass Hellions would not work out unless your opponent miraculously only has like Zealots or Zerglings.
I'd actually like to point out one thing already here. Walling off here, where the Protoss is walling off, is probably the dumbest idea I've ever heard of. There's just no point to it anywhere. First of all, if the Zerg was to 6-pull you, you would instantly lose. That's just to start off. The second problem is that there are rocks here, which can be destroyed, and then your base is open. And it takes surprisingly little time for Zerglings to kill rocks. Then there are rocks here, which can also be destroyed, opening another attack path into the base. Okay, this is a bit more choked, so yeah. But then this is the kicker. There is a fully open attack path here at the bottom. Don't wall off here, guys. It's just not good. It leads to death.
Yep. The idea, the general idea of walling off so you can safely take natural is a good one. It is bad if it leaves not one, not two, but 3 backdoor entrances.
Yeah.
That's a bit extreme.
And if you look at this base would have been complete, like, this wall off would have been perfectly safe if it would have been a choke around the Nexus as well. Just make the ramp a bit more narrow, close this attack path, and then the Zerglings can only run in here or here at the ramp, which are both kind of difficult attack paths to take, as in you can't take both of them, you have to dedicate yourself to one of them. And when you take one of them, you're not getting out. So they're bad places for Zerglings to go. So walling off like this would be much more preferable than this. That's just a tiny piece of trivia for now. Then if you look at Inge apparently felt very confident since he saw a forge opening from his opponent. He decided to get 3 bases at 5 minutes into the game.
Yeah, that's pretty much because he scouted the forge opening. He knew there was nothing coming right away, and that Flo went for a very fast expo himself, sort of negating Inge's fast expand. So there's generally 2 things you can do at this point. Either you try to break the fast expand, which is in general hard if you're fast expanding yourself, but it's a little bit easier to Zerg, I guess, or you just go ahead and take a third, restoring your economical lead.
Well, I still disagree with the decision of taking that third hatchery so fast, simply because this opening could very well just have been a forge opening into a 5-gate push of 2 base. It would be a bit delayed, yes, but it would still be very strong since this expansion was up very fast. I have seen that done, and when I've seen it done, it's very effective.
Sure. But that is a delicate timing. I mean, Zerg does have 3 bases and might be able to muster an army. And
well, I mean, sure, Zerg has 3 bases, but take a look at the harvester count. Those 3 bases are not really giving him a lot at the moment. He has a slight economical lead, yes, but
that lead is going to get bigger as time progresses.
It will.
Because not only is he Zerg and can build more workers faster, he's also a Zerg on 3 bases.
But yeah, not the safest play from either players. They're playing Russian roulette with each other.
It is working out because both players are going for these ridiculous economically heavy focus builds.
And because Inge felt like a fucking smartass, he wanted to whisper me all tactics revolve around getting your 3rd base, which is true. I give you this.
That's true, but if tactic is poor after 5 minutes, it's a bad tactic.
Yeah, if your tactic revolves around hoping that your opponent is not going to do anything fishy, you're kind of screwed, aren't you?
Possibly. Flo now threw up double Stargate, which is fine on 2 base. There's absolutely no problem to support this. But he's still sitting on 1 gateway. He has way too many minerals right now, and absolutely no way to spend those.
To be honest, what I would like to see Inge improve upon is that Inge has this habit of not getting any overlords. Then he gets tired of not having any overlords, and he gets 6 of them at one point. He just made 4 overlords, which is not really what you want to be doing. Sorry, 5 overlords. This guy was just finished as well. And
pretty much the equivalent of a Toss or Terran dropping like 10 pylons or supply depots.
Yeah. And Inge, if you have 3 base, just get that gas going, because if you have 3 base and you are saturated on these bases, you have 71 harvesters. Inge, okay, I'm just gonna put myself on busy right now because Inge keeps whispering me retarded stuff.
It's not cool.
He said, in my book,
magic number of 4 phoenixes. But
yes,
he's not doing it.
Right. Then go nuts with the 4 phoenixes.
Yay! 4 phoenixes. 4 phoenixes are the magic number that you should always get as a toss if you're incorporating any airplay at all. Why 4? Why not 3? Why not 5? It is because 4 phoenixes are able to kill a queen with a single liftoff. You fly to the queen, you lift it up with the graviton beam, the other 3 phoenixes shoot it down right before the beam ends, and that is just beautiful. It's the most efficient harassing thing you can do, and killing queens ruins Zerg's days so horribly. You can kill overlords with more forces and with less. You can kill drones with less phoenixes. I'm not sure if 2 phoenixes kill a drone with a single liftoff. 3 definitely do. 4 do it faster. And you can kill queens, so 4 is really optimal.
Yeah, and one thing I would like to point out about 4 phoenixes is that, okay, one thing that is very true, more phoenixes means more energy regen in a way, because when one of those phoenixes has done their liftoff, he will then regen energy, and the other can take their turn in the rotation. So having only 2 phoenixes will leave you kind of hopelessly low on energy. But 4 is a very good number.
Yep. The Zerg will, when you rush for 4 phoenixes, even on 1 Stargate, the Zerg will never have 5 queens. That has absolutely never happened to me before. 5 queens, he will not have 5 queens at that point. Why would he? He's on 2 bases at max, unless he's insane and or Ingebrigtsen have more bases, so he has more queens. So 4 is really, really good. But as the main combat force, they're not efficient simply because if Zerg spans Zerglings, you're out of luck, because Phoenixes don't have enough energy to lift up an army of Zerglings. Lufas wants to point something.
Yeah, about not having 5 queens in that point of the play. You have to remember that Inge is currently in Bronze League. So he may very well counter 5 queens.
Yeah, well, but still, Inge is a diamond-ish player. He's just retarded and decided to tank his rating because he feels insecure.
He might see that.
Yeah, but I mean, ooh, there we go.
Killing everything.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, the 3 bases right now are so far away from each other. So in order to defend this properly, you would need to have your stuff closer. Right now, your stuff is not close to each other, and defending 3 bases or 4 bases like this, I mean, had what's his face flown directly upwards and down left, he would have been able to kill a lot more. Then down, kill this, do a switcheroo back to the right, and with this amount of hydras, which is 17 hydras against, what is that, 18 phoenixes? Well, yeah, I mean, the hydras will be able to kill them eventually, I think, but at the same time, it's just very, very hard, because your phoenixes are just so much faster. Especially considering that Inge, proving his Bronze Leagueness, has not merged his bases with creep.
By the way, you ranted about the 3 bases again. We're 14 minutes into the game. When you started that rant, the Zerg should always have 3 bases at that point. So Phoenixes are always annoying for the Zerg. There's not really much he can do besides spam queens and or spore crawlers. So
yeah, spore crawlers are pretty much the best defense against.
Inge now doing the wonderful, beautiful thing. He sees a shit ton of Phoenixes and just going for a huge counterattack. Rule of thumb, if your opponent is going for a fancy big airplay, he will have pretty much nothing to defend. So if you have a huge ground army, such as Inge has right now, go and attack. odds are you win the game right there. Inge now retreating because that's 1 sentry and 2 cannons.
Ben, pause for 5 seconds. I think you're a bit ahead of me.
Apparently.
Also, Inge bringing a drone with gas as a peace offering. And this is kind of bizarre to me. Why does Inge just not pick the route that is completely undefended?
I don't know. Give me the time, please. So I can
16,
continue.
15, now.
No, it's 5 seconds ahead of me now.
Yeah.
Ah well, go on.
Yeah, anyway, Flow still has, like, this build is so damn cutesy. I mean, yeah, Phoenixes are not bad, but when your opponent overwhelms you with this army, there's nothing really you can do. Right now, the only thing that's keeping Flow alive is superior arcs and a motherfucking mothership.
That's how's the mothership fucking mothers.
I really don't know, but right now the mothership is saving him quite well. It's keeping the Phoenixes invisible so they can kill the Hydras before the Phoenixes take damage.
Yep, that mothership just died. That is a very cutesy build that had pretty much no ground army, and you see that the Inge is just outrunning. Yes, the Phoenixes are slowly killing stuff.
You know, I would actually have loved this build. This build could have been very effective had it had 4 Void Rays in it. I mean, make your opponent attack, take care of the Hydralisks, kill the Hydralisks like you did, then kill the rest with your 5 Void Rays. Keep the Void Rays alive and you're gonna be able, you're golden. But right now it's just a cutesy build with no real effect. I mean, yeah, you can do infinite amount of Overlord kills, but anything but that, I mean, now the Phoenixes are just standing there wondering what the hell went wrong. And Inge is happily mining off 4 bases.
Yeah, Phoenix are like, we killed so many of them, but they keep coming.
Yeah, this is...
Guess what? That's what Zerg does. The Zerglings just keep coming.
Yeah, and this is like this game is what all OP threads are made of. Right after this, I'm not gonna accuse Flo of doing this, but if Flo was a whiner, what Flo would do right now is that he would go on the forums and say, how the hell are we gonna be able to beat Zerg when I harassed his overlords and I killed everything he had, but he still beat me? And it's just so simple. I mean, just look at the bigger picture. What happened was that Inge just had a lot of shit when Flo had a lot of cutesy units. I mean, yeah, he's doing a very good job picking off the Hydralisks, but how long can he keep that up on 0 mining bases?
You can kill everything Inge sends at him, but Inge is on infinite supply.
Yeah.
He's a Zerg. He just sends wave after wave. It's not an efficient defense. Phoenixes are not a good defensive unit. They're
Nope.
very good for harassing and being on the offensive, but for defense purposes, not the best unit to have. They're always nice to help out, but as the main force, not good.
They're also an excellent unit at keeping your opponent in his base. Basically, like, the biggest problem with builds like Infinity Phoenix, like I would call this, is that what's going to end up happening is that your opponent's going to notice that you have so many Phoenixes that he's just going to decide to, well, screw that. I'm just going to go kill him. But
As I said, if you see a fancy airplay, go attack.
yeah, had Flo attacked with only 4 Phoenixes, Inge would know that there is a lot of money being put into other stuff that is not Phoenixes, and that would have been a lot more deadly. So even from a strategic point of view, this build was, well, not the best.
Indeed, and Flo just leaving without a GG, which is pretty sad considering they kept chatting throughout the game.
Yeah.
Sad,
Well, it's
sad.
Bronze League. A lot of people actually don't really know the proper way of behaving. So yeah.
He actually told me that those replays are from when he was still in Platinum.
Oh, okay.
Yep, the 12 drone rush thing. So, Flo should not have been in Bronze. I mean, I've seen...
Yeah, Inge just confirmed that was Platinum. But, yeah.
Yeah, that was not Bronze level play. Bronze players don't tend to get a lot of cutesy units and do forge fast expand and whatnot. No offense, Bronzy. I love you. We're in bronze practice after all.